Lough Neagh is a freshwater lake in Northern Ireland, the largest lake by area in the British Isles. It supplies 40% of Northern Ireland's water. Its name comes from Irish Loch nEachach, meaning Lake of Eachaidh, although today it is usually spelt Loch nEathach in Irish. The loch is owned by the Earl of Shaftesbury. Geography. With an area of 151 square miles, it is the largest lake on the island of Ireland, the 15th largest freshwater lake within the European Union, and is ranked 31st in the list of largest lakes of Europe. Located 20 miles west of Belfast, it is about 20 miles long and 9 miles wide. It is very shallow around the margins, and the average depth in the main body of the lake is about 30 feet, although at its deepest the loch is about 80 feet deep. Hydrology. Of the 1,760 square mile catchment area, around 9% lies in the Republic of Ireland and 91% in Northern Ireland. Altogether, 43% of the land area of Northern Ireland is drained into the Loch, which itself flows out northwards to the sea via the River Bann. As one of its sources is the Upper Bann, the Loch can itself be considered as part of the Bann. Lough Neagh is fed by many tributaries, including the river's main 6-mile water, Upper Bann, Blackwater, Ballinderry and Moyola, islands and peninsulas: Coney Island, Coney Island Flat, Croghan Flat, Derrywera Island, Kintuak Flat, Oxford Island, Haddian, Rams Island, Philrose Flat, the Shallow Flat, Trod. Towns and villages. Towns and villages near the loch include Craigavon, Antrim, Crumlin, Randallstown, Tombridge, Ballyronan, Ballinderry, Moortown, Arbo, Magary, Lurgan and Macrofell. Counties. 5 of the 6 counties of Northern Ireland have shores on the loch, and its area is split among them. The counties are listed clockwise: Antrim, Down, Armagh, Tyrone, Londonderry. Local government districts. The area of the lake is split between 4 local government districts of Northern Ireland, which are listed clockwise: 3 Antrim and Newtonabbey in the northeast, 4 Lisburn and Castlereagh in the east, 6 Armagh, Banbridge and Craigavon in the south, 9 Mid-Ulster in the west. Uses. Although the loch is used for a variety of recreational and commercial activities, it is exposed and tends to get extremely rough very quickly in windy conditions. Water supply. The loch is used by Northern Ireland Water as a source of fresh water. The loch supplies 40% of the region's drinking water. There have long been plans to increase the amount of water drawn from the loch through a new water treatment works at Hog Park Point, but these are yet to materialize. The Lough's ownership by the Earl of Shaftesbury has implications for changes to state-run domestic water services in Northern Ireland. The loch is also used as a sewage outfall, and this arrangement is only permissible through British Crown immunity. In 2012, it was reported that the Earl is considering transferring ownership of the loch to the Northern Ireland Assembly. Navigation. Traditional working boats on Lough Neagh include wide-beamed 4.9-TO-6.4-METRE clinker-built, spread-rigged working boats and smaller flat-bottomed cuts and flats. Barges, here called lighters, were used until the 1940s to transport coal over the loch and adjacent canals. Until the 17th century, log boats were the main means of transport. Few traditional boats are left now, but a community-based group on the southern shore of the loch is rebuilding a series of working boats. In the 19th century, 3 canals were constructed, using the loch to link various ports and cities. The Lagan navigation provided a link from the city of Belfast. The Newry Canal linked to the port of Newry, and the Ulster Canal led to the Loch navigations, providing a navigable inland route via the River Shannon to Limerick, Dublin and Waterford. The Lower Bann was also navigable to Coleraine and the Antrim coast, and the short Coal Island Island Canal provided a route for coal transportation. Of these waterways, only the lower band remains open today, although a restoration plan for the Ulster Canal is currently in progress. Lough Neagh Rescue provides a search and rescue service 24 hours a day. It is a voluntary service funded by the district councils bordering the loch. Its members are highly trained and are a declared facility for the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency, which coordinates rescues on Lough Neagh. Bird watching. Lough Neagh attracts bird watchers from many nations due to the number and variety of birds which winter and summer in the boglands and shores around the loch. Flora. The flora of the northeast of Northern Ireland includes the algae Chara aspera, Chara globularis var, globularized Chara globularis var, virgate Chara vulgaris var, vulgaris Chara vulgaris var, papillata Tolly pellinidifera var, glomerata. Records of angiospermy include Ranunculus flammula var, pseudoreptans, Ranunculus auricumus, Ranunculatus celeratus, Ranunculatus circinatus, Ranunculatus peltatus, Thalectrum flavum, Thalectrum minus subsp minus, Nymphaea alba, Ceratophyllum demusum, Subularia aquatic, Aerophiloverna sub. Verna, Cardamon pratensis, Cardamon impatiens, Cardamon flexuosa, Roripa palustris, Roripa amphibian, Reseda luteola, Viola odorata, Viola reichenbachiana, Viola tricolor ssp. Viola tricolor ssp. Courtesy, Hypericum androsimum, Hypericum maculatum, Elatine hydropiper, Selene vulgaris, Selene dioica, Saponaria officinalis, Cerastium arvensis, Cerastium semidecandrum, Cerastium diffusum, Sagina nodosa, Spergulara rubra. Fishing. Eel fishing has been a major industry in Lough Neagh for centuries. These European eels make the way from the Sargasso Sea in the Atlantic Ocean, some 4,000 miles along the Gulf Stream to the mouth of the River Bann, and then make their way into the loch. They remain there for some 10 to 15 years, maturing, before returning to the Sargasso to spawn. Today Lough Neagh eel fisheries export their eels to restaurants all over the world, and the Lough Neagh eel has been granted protected geographical status under European Union law. Mythology and folklore. In the Irish mythical tale Cath Maige Tuath, Lough Neagh is called one of the 12 chief loughs of Ireland. The origin of the lake and its name is explained in an Irish tale that was written down in the Middle Ages, but is likely pre-Christian. According to the tale, the lake is named after Eachaidh, who was the son of Merad, a king of Munster. Eachaidh falls in love with his stepmother, a young woman named Ebliu. They try to elope, accompanied by many of the retainers, but someone kills the horses. In some versions, the horses are killed by Medea, which may be another name for Ebliu's husband Merad. Oengus then appears and gives them an enormous horse that can carry all the belongings. Oengus warns that they must not let the horse rest or it will be their doom. However, after reaching Ulster the horse stops and urinates, and a spring rises from the spot. Eachaidh decides to build a house there and covers the spring with a capstone to stop it overflowing. One night, the capstone is not replaced and the spring overflows, drowning Eachaidh and most of his family, and creating Loch nEachach. The character Eachaidh refers to the Dagda, a god of the ancient Irish who was also known as Eachaidh Olada. Eblin, Medea, and Aomas were also names of deities. Mary McGrath and Joan Griffith write that the idea of a supernatural being creating the landscape with its own body is an ancient one common to many pre-Christian cultures. A Gaelic sept called the Eachaidh dwelt in the area, and it is likely that the name comes from the cult of the god Eachaidh. Another tale tells how the lake was formed when Ireland's legendary giant fin Macumhal scooped up a chunk of earth and tossed it at a Scottish rival. It fell into the Irish Sea, forming the Isle of Man, while the crater left behind filled with water to form Lough Neagh. Gallery.